Hello, so today I have for you a tag video and I'm at my computer even with this terrible, light coming in from the side because it is a tag video and the questions are on the computer. And what I used to, back in the old day, which is kind of the subject of the video, so I'm bringing it up. Back in the old day, I used to write down all the questions in like a notebook and then like sit in front of my bookshelves and, talk about them in my childhood bedroom. This is the booktube anniversary tag. And it may look like my channel is not all that old. However, this is my second channel. You may know this, you may not. I don't fucking know. But I started I started a channel when I was, still in high school. And eventually that channel was attached to an email address that is no longer an actual email address because it was attached to a domain name that is no longer in existence. So I created a new YouTube channel with a Gmail email address, and that's where we're at today. So some of these answers may not seem entirely accurate if you look at the actual date of the channel itself, but what I'm talking about is going to be my entire YouTube and booktube experience. So, hello. So number one is, how many years on booktube are you celebrating? And so I started my YouTube channel the December of my senior year of high school, which is in 2014. So I've been going for fucking 10 years, man. Two, how have you changed from your first video to now? I do have a nicer iPhone now. I have always just used Apple products to film my videos. Actually, when I first started, I didn't have an iPhone. I had an iPod Touch. And so I was using like a third gen iPod Touch to film all my videos. And now I have an iPhone XS. I think it's a XS. It's got a ridiculous amount of storage space. That's why I have it. It's got genuinely like 600 gigabytes. Like it's ridiculous. So I do have that. I also am at this point, mostly because I cannot. My computer and my iPhone are at the stage where they just like don't get along because my phone is a little bit too new. My computer is a desktop, and my dad built it for me. My brother built it for me. My dad, bankrolled that when I graduated from college 6 years ago at this point. And there are a lot of things that don't quite work right with my computer anymore. I'm using a lot of open source software because I just don't believe in like getting the fanciest newest thing. So now at this point, long story short, I never upload videos that are recent anymore. I wait until I have all my videos edited, and then I create a fake Dropbox account with a fake email address, use their free trial for a month, and take all the videos that have been sitting on my phone, which again has 600 gigabytes of storage, which is the only way this is possible, and upload them to that and download them over the free month, cancel Dropbox before my month goes up, and that's how it is. So I used to at least have my weekly wrap-ups were really pretty much on point. Like they were filmed and edited on Sunday, and I'd upload them on Monday of the week that I was. But I don't do that anymore. I'm not on the schedule anymore. 3 of your favorite videos you've made in the past year and why, or what video are you most proud of and why? I have really been digging. I really dig my digged. Oh my god, I teach grammar 3rd graders. I should be better than this. I really dug my videos that I made about my videos that I made concerning horror in different sections. Like there was like horror, modern horror, and then Stephen King, and one that I haven't actually uploaded yet, which I do reference in the other ones, about like mass market horror paperbacks. I really like talking about that. I also really enjoy having vlogs. I like vlogging. It's a bitch to edit. I don't even do fancy editing, but like to just get all the clips in the right order is annoying, but I enjoy the end product too. For what's your most popular video? Let's see what it is. I know generally Stephen King goes real well because he's real popular. At least that's what it was in the old channel. So we go to videos. Popular. My most popular is The Chocolate War by Robert Cormier book review. 633 views, and that was in my first apartment. That was 2 apartments ago. And then I have How I Use My TBR Cart featuring Jelly Jam, which was actually in this apartment. All my vinyl, Ignore the Book Landfill. Weekly wrap-up, spoiler, 120 Days of Sodom Sucks. Those are my most 4. 5 is all the books I published in 2020 and 2022. So, interesting. I did not think it was going to be The Chocolate War. If I remember right, there are a lot of people asking me to do their homework for them on the bottom of that one, though, so, what have you struggled with on booktube in the past year, and how did you overcome that struggle, or what is the hardest thing about creating videos for YouTube? I feel like I don't take this seriously enough to a point where like anything is really a struggle. Like, this is genuinely just a hobby. Like, genuinely, I don't make any money off of this. I'm not enrolled in AdSense or anything. I only have like 300 subscribers. If I can use this to kind of funnel people towards like my books that I published, like, that'd be great. But like, I'm not banking on that. This is just something to do because it's really fun. And I don't really have that many people to talk about books in real life at this point in life. Or I never have, to the point where to the extent that I wanted to. And that's just what this is. This is me talking to myself, and I like kind of chronicling like my life and how I'm going with books and everything like that. So that's really what this is. So I haven't really met any struggles. Have you had to deal with negative feedback or comments? How did you handle it? I'm not really big enough for a lot of that. To the most that I've had to deal with. So on my old channel, I used to make these like long walk lecture videos. And that's because The Long Walk, like, it was my favorite book for 10 years. Like, I read that book when I was in the 8th grade, and it immediately became my entire personality. And so I read it genuinely, I want to say at least 50, 60 times. And so I'd make these videos that were focusing on like little things. And as a teenage girl in the 2010s, obviously I was a Rise truther. And that was a big part of these books. And there was this guy who took great offense to this teenage girl calling his favorite book gay. And he would like make reaction videos to my Long Walk lecture videos, which I think they're still up, honestly, these reaction videos. So if you want to watch my Long Walk lecture videos, they're some of the only old videos that are still available. I never watch them. That's just, that is how I deal with that stuff, because this is such a hobby. I don't really give a shit, and I just don't interact with any negativity. So there's that. Shout out, a huge supporter of your channel, Sarah Hall, man. Sarah Hall is a long-term commenter on this channel, and she leaves like really wonderfully detailed comments, and I really enjoy seeing a new comment. I really enjoy like interacting with her comments. She's wonderful. She's bought and read some of my books. It's beautiful, wonderful. What's the best book you've read in the past year? My best book of 2024, which was technically last year, it's January 2025 right now. My best book of 2024 was The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. So there's that. Where do you see your channel in a year's time, and what do you hope to have achieved? I just hope that I can keep kind of going as I've been going. If I keep going at this rate, maybe I'll hit, maybe I'll hit 500 subscribers. I don't. Again, this is purely a hobby, and I don't really care all that much. What was an unexpected surprise of being on YouTube? I don't know. Not much. Thoughts on equipment. What's been the most useful piece of equipment you've bought? Again, I use my iPhone to film. I do not use a microphone, which you can tell because my videos are very quiet, and it's a bit of a problem. And to edit, I use OpenShot. Like I said, I'm a big fan of open source software. I use OpenShot to edit, and when I'm writing, like I have OpenOffice. Like I'm a big fan. You don't have to pay for it. It's wonderful. And the nice thing about OpenShot, because back when I was younger, when I was first editing my videos, they were all in Windows Movie Maker, back when Windows Movie Maker existed. And OpenShot honestly is much better than Windows Movie Maker ever was. like I can put picture in picture now, which is great. I really like that. So I'd say probably OpenShot, but I didn't have to spend any money for it. It's open source software. So what advice would you give someone thinking of starting YouTube? I do genuinely think that it does have to come from a place of just genuine passion. I think it's very easy to tell when people are not passionate or don't care about what they're saying. And you can only pretend to be genuine for so long, and I think that if you really want to make a career out of this, you should go listen to somebody else. But if you just want to have fun with it, just be passionate about it and don't care. I do think that if you are consistent and if you are commenting on other people's videos, that's a better way to grow your channel. I don't really care. So I'm not consistent, and I very rarely comment on other people's videos, because I'm honestly more of like a little journal for me than anything else. But I guess there's that. And someone's anniversary's coming up. I don't know. It's not even my anniversary. My anniversary was like 3 weeks ago, I think, because it was like real close to Christmas, my senior year, when I did my first video. So it would have, I must have just passed. This is actually a pretty good time to be filming this. But yeah, that is everything. I'll talk to you later, and goodbye.